It's me, your boy King Jiffy Coats, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Alone in the Dark remake. And let me tell you a little bit about Alone in the Dark, the game series. First, I guess it's a series I don't really know. It's like that uncle that shows up at the family reunion looking all cool in 1992 and then comes back in 2008 wearing a fanny pack, flip-flops with socks. Talking about, I'm still hip and shit. That's Alone in the Dark for you. Started out a legend, then got a little confused. Let's break it down for y'all. Back in 1992, a French company called Ingrams dropped Alone in the Dark on us like a damn horror bomb. Featured a kid sitting in a dark room with his clunky ass PC trying to figure out why his character's moving like a drunk and possessed at the same time. This game was the first to say, yo, we're gonna make this survival horror genre a thing. It's like granddaddy of Resident Evil and Silent Hill. They invented the whole damn genre. You got this dude, Edward Carnby, or Emily Hartwood, if you want to switch it up, stumbling through a haunted mansion called Directo. Creepy music, monsters jumping out you like, boom, motherfucker. And you're over here like 3 bullets and a candlestick trying to survive. The graphics, man, they were like Lego people with polygons for faces. But back then, they thought it was Photoshop. I'm talking 3D models in 1992. Ain't nobody doing that. You're running from zombies, weird ass creatures, reading dusty books, trying to figure out what's going on, and the whole time you're thinking, man, I ain't that alone in the dark. I got these spooky ghosts behind me to keep me company. Got yourself thinking your entire house is haunted. The game had this Lovecraftian vibe, all about cosmic horror and forbidden knowledge. You're digging through attics, finding clues, dodging monsters that look like they flunked out of Monster High School. Fixed camera angles, tank controls. You know, like lame, annoying shit I'm talking about? Moving can be like driving a Buick with no power steering after you had a fifth of vodka. You hit left, he's moonwalking into the wall. But for some reason, people loved it, because it was scary as hell. That atmosphere, thick as your mama's pube hair. Infograms were out there saying, we're gonna make you change your drawers by the end of this game, and they did. Then boom, and 1993 rolls around and they drop Alone in the Dark 2. Now this one's like, okay, throw in fucking pirates. Pirates in a horror game? It's like we went from Lovecraft to Captain Suckstick. You're still Carnby, but now you're fighting zombie pirates in a mansion called Hell's Kitchen. And I'm like, hold up, is this Pirates of the Caribbean or that stupid Gordon Ramsay show? The story's all over the place, but they keep that creepy vibe and folks were still hooked. They added more action, said, here's a Tommy gun, go wild. But the controls, still janky as hell. I'm trying to aim and King Camby's out here doing the gay robot. Still, it sold well because everybody was about that spooky life. By 1994, they hit us with Alone in the Dark 3, and now they're like, forget pirates, we're doing the Wild West. I guess we're just doing everything now, and Carnby's just kind of getting shoved right in the anus of it. This time, it's a ghost town called Slaughter Gulch. I'm sitting here thinking this dude's got the worst luck in all of history, and I'm pretty sure there's an OnlyFans girl that took 1,000 penises. Every vacation ends up in a haunted ass place. This one's got cowboys, ghosts, and some weird cult shit. Puzzles were tougher, the monsters were creepier, but the controls still moving like you're pushing a shopping cart through 80 gallons of jizz. Fans were like, okay, it's cool, but can you fix the fucking walking? Infograms was like, nah, this is our brand, we fuck with this jank. Then the series took a nap, a long ass nap. We're talking from 96 to 2001, not a zilch, nothing. By this time, nobody even cared about Alone in the Dark anymore. It was all about the Nutty Professor, Halo, and late night Cinemax. But Alone in the Dark was just chilling in the vault. And in 2001 hits, they come back with Alone in the Dark, New Nightmare. This one's on PlayStation, Dreamcast, all that. They were like, we're modern now. New story, new Carnby, well, kinda. He's still a detective, but he's looking like a leather jacket wearing pretty boy. They ditched the old school graphics for something smoother, and the vibe's more like Resident Evil. You got flashlights, creepy monsters, and a story about shadow creatures on an island. It was dope. Fans were like, fuck this isn't my Alone in the Dark, but that's kind of what happens in gaming. You drop a game and then some people like to take their Johnsons out and then just rub it on the screen angrily. But let's talk about 2008 because this is where shit gets wild. Infograms, now called Atari or some shit, drops Alone in the Dark. Just called that, no number, like they're rebooting the whole damn thing. They're like, we're going fucking Hollywood. The game's got fancy graphics, a big budget, and Carnby's waking up in New York City with an amnesia, like he's in some fucking soap opera. They tried to make it open world with fire physics and all sorts of crazy shit. You could set stuff on fire, combine items like you're fucking MacGyver in a horror flick, but man, it was buggy. I'm talking bugs so bad, it's like getting a blowjob with extra teeth from a ghost. Controls were sloppy, story was like, I don't even know what the fuck was going on, and fans were pissed. It's like that fucking movie Norbit with Eddie Murphy. There was funny moments, but overall, the movie sucked endless bags of donkey dicks. Then in 2015, they tried again with Alone in the Dark Illumination. Now this one, Fuck, this was a low point, man. They're like, let's make it a co-op shooter. Alone in the Dark ain't supposed to be Left 4 Dead. It's like taking one of my videos and putting it on MS Paint. Nobody asked for this. It's got online multiplayer, generic monsters, and Camber's barely in it. Fans were like, get this shit the fuck off of my console. It flopped, and it flopped hard. I felt bad for the developers. They tried to modernize, but they forgot what made their series special. That creepy, lonely, I'm about to die vibe. THQ Nordic swoops in and picks up the franchise after Atari fumbled it, and they're like, we're taking it back to its roots with some 2024 polish. This game's developed by Pieces Interactive. It's a love letter to the 1992 original, but it's got a modern twist, and that's got folks talking. Released on March 20th, 2024 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC, and set in 1930s, deep Gothic American South Louisiana. But you're back at Directo Manor and now creepy-ass sanitarium for the mentally fatigued. And I'm like, man, this place is so batshit scary that even the ghosts need therapy. You play as Edward Carnby, voiced and motion captured by David Harbour, Stranger Things, or Emily Hartwood, brought to life by Jodie Comer, Killing Eve. These ain't just voice actors, they're full-on Hollywood heavyweights, giving these characters soul. Harbour's Carnby is a grizzled, downtrodden detective who's seen some shit, and Comer's Emily is a tough-as-nails woman searching for her missing uncle, Jeremy Hartwood. The vibes? Pure Southern Gothic with a side of Lovecraftian magic. Think True Detective meets Cthulhu. The story kicks off with Emily hiring Carnby to investigate Jeremy's disappearance at the mansion. This is the same mansion from 1992. It's a lived-in, decaying mansion with peeling wallpapers, creaky floors, and rooms packed with details that scream, there's some gay shit going on here. The game's written by Mikhail Hedberg, the dude behind Soma and Amnesia: The Dark Descent. So you know this shit's gonna mess with your head. About trauma, faith, cosmic evil, with a plot that twists like a corkscrew penis. You're exploring the mansion, finding journals, letters, all these things called ligonipes that unlock extra lore. The story's fucking wild, man. It's like walking through a dream where the walls start bleeding and the furniture's whispering your name. You'll visit the nightmarish realms, swamps, deserts, even a warped version of New Orleans, where reality bends and monsters jump out like, surprise, motherfucker! It's got themes of depression and self-harm, but they handled it with care. It's not in-your-face gore. Gameplay? They ditched the tank controls. Thank fucking God. For a modern, over-the-shoulder camera, like Resident Evil 2 Remake. You're solving puzzles, fighting monsters, sneaking past them whenever you can. The puzzles are a mix. Some are clever, like redirecting lasers in a temple or cracking safe codes by piecing together clues from notes. Others, man, they're pretty basic. Typical run-of-the-mill game shit, but they work. I know some people are over here like, come on, I ain't here for another fucking Where's Waldo puzzle, but I thought they were alright. Combat's got guns, melee weapons, throwables like Molotov. It's a bit clunky, but it works with the horror aesthetic. You're aiming at these eldritch critters designed by Guy Davis, who worked with Guillermo del Toro, and sometimes the camera's like, nah, I ain't fucking helping you in this tight hallway. You can't carry throwables, you gotta toss them where you find them, which feels like the game's trolling you. Which I didn't really mind because the game gives you so much other weapons and ammo that you just kinda can create a slaughterhouse whenever you see fit. Stealth's an option too if you're a pussy. You can sneak back past enemies, distract them with bottles. But I do have to say that I needed more enemies. It would have been nice to just genocide a few more eldritch cuckbags. And the monsters, they're creepy as shit, but I felt like they could have added more. And I did like this more than something like Resident Evil 2, but I do have to say that a little bit more tentacle freaks to get those goonbag hentai fans bricked up would have been a little nicer, and a couple of bosses shown in wouldn't have been a bad thing, like maybe like a zombie alligator or an old voodoo witch's pussy. The atmosphere is where this game shines. The atmosphere in this game jizzes on your shoulder and you don't mind. It's got that Southern Gothic charm. Think Spanish moss, rusted chandeliers, a jazz soundtrack that's equal parts spooky and soulful. And the visuals are gorgeous, with every room dripping with detail, rocking horses, dusty books, rats scurrying underfoot, lightning straight out of a horror flick, with the shadows dancing like your mom at a strip club from your flashlight. You can even switch to a vintage horror filter to make it look like a 92 game with low poly canby and all. I mean, come on guys, this game's literally trying to stroke you off and say hit you with some of them member berries. The sound design? Man, it fucking makes the manor alive. It creaks, it whispers, and a doom jazz score that's got you checking over your shoulder. The game's got director's commentary mode too, where you can hear the devs talk about making it, and a digital art book with Guy Davies's freaky monster design. You can play as either Carnby or Emily, which it doesn't really matter who you play as because again it is the same story. Full playthrough for both is about 11 hours shorter if you're speedrunning. You gotta play both of them to get the true ending, which is worth the extra lore, I guess, but I didn't do that. The game's customizable too. You can tweak hints, items glow, and adjust difficulty. So it's friendly for newbies or hardcore fans, but it ain't perfect. Some people reported bugs, text pop in, enemies glitching under floors, the combat's a bit janky, and some puzzles are too simple, I guess. And that's why I think the critics gave it mixed reviews. This game's got big budget, it's got big name actors, it's got everything. And I tell you, when I walked through this game, I was living, eating, and breathing the pussy it was peddling me, man. This shit was on fire. Gone were the gay-ass camera angles and stupid tank controls. This shit took a page right out of the Resident Evil Remake's books and said, we're gonna do this shit better. And I fucking vibed with this shit so hard. This is one of the best Lovecraftian games you will ever touch your penis to, baby. You're gonna be so bricked up that you're gonna be able to balance that controller on your fucking dick. I know some fans out there were mad that the locked camera angles were gone, but honestly, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares about you. This is my opinion and my video, and I'm gonna say what I want to say because I hate those locked camera angles. There's actually a section in this game where they lock you in those camera angles and they say, hey motherfucker, you just better sit down and listen because you're gonna enjoy this shit. I did not. I hated it. It was garbage and you should have thrown it in the trash. Okay, I get it. For you nostalgic motherfuckers out there who are just chilling and all upset that everything's moving away from your style of gaming because it sucks and should have died back in the 90s, I guess you get a little bone. They threw you a little bone, now you suck on it, chief. But for me, this was the type of game I wanted. I gotta see what made the original series so special, and I gotta run with the vibe. It started this whole survival horror onslaught. You think we would have had a world of Resident Evil without Alone in the Dark? Fuck no, dude. Well, it would have been nothing. It would have been a bunch of fucking nipple touches and penis flicks, if you get what I'm saying. Also really liked the whole southern gothic vibe it was going with. The kind of mesh with that Lovecraftian tones. You got a little bit of Lovecraft, a little bit of Egypt, a little bit of the South. That voodoo, hoodoo, what you gonna do now is just really vibing throughout every single sense of this entire game, and I can't get enough of it. It is absolutely brilliant. I had so much fun. The acting's over the top. Now, I only played as Carnby. I didn't play as the other bitch. I'm saving her for another time. I guess that's gonna be a me special occasion. I'm gonna be looking at her gray-ass robes and thinking, I wonder how much pre-cum I can get before the end of this game. But again, that's for me and my alone time. And to be honest, I had more fun with this game than I did with the Resident Evil 2 remake, and I really like that game. I think it's a solid goddamn entry. The shit got my nipples cutting diamonds, but this has got my nipples turning into penises and having sex with women. That's enough shit to get your grandma wet right there. And I have to say, every single second of all these cool reveals and all this mystical bullshit that I'm going with, all these cool puzzles, I felt like it was just so intuitive. Everything about it was modernized, but modernized in the good way, where it still feels like it's trying to be its iconic self, while at the same time utilizing all the things that make modern gaming so good. All the quality of life features are fucking there, man. Now I know, again, you guys are probably mad that I shit all over the tank controls and locked camera angles, but they give me a migraine. It's like when somebody takes a drill and then just cuts into your freaking noggin. I'm like the end of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest after I play 10 minutes of a game like that. I'm walking around drooling and just begging for somebody to skull fuck me. We live in a time that we live in the time of the remakes, and I love when they take something niche as shit like Alone in the Dark, a series that's been on its deathbed for a very long time, and try to bring it back. And I thought that this was a true revival of what it could do, especially in a world where we live in great revivals. I mean, in this year that this came out, we'd already gotten a Resident Evil 4 remake that I heard was damn good. We got a Dead Space remake that I heard was damn good, but in both of those games, their original holds up way better compared to this game, where you look at the original, and I'm pretty sure I'd rather hit my wife's vagina with a meat tenderizer than try to subject myself to that much pain. Sure, in the 90s it looked like AI porn, but in 2024, it looked like NES Mario trying to have an orgy with a chainsaw up his ass. I do have to say one thing, Conby's kind of a fucking retard through this game at times. He kind of gets himself in a bunch of stupid positions. He argues with the chick a lot, where she doesn't see the things that he's seeing the whole time. David Harbour is killing it, but at the same time, I'm like, David Harbour, you kind of coming off like a big retard. Now, I do have to say, too, the combat, pretty fire. I liked the combat. It flowed pretty well. And nothing about it was bad. It worked well. Again, everything about this game just fucking works. Unlike your deadbeat crackhead cousin, this game's out there on that grind. Well, I guess if you're on that crack grind, you're trying to get that rock, so I guess that's a different kind of grind, but you get what I mean. So that's Alone in the Dark. Some people called it a tribute to the original. Others called it too clunky to compare to Resident Evil. It didn't sell well either, which is a shame because I thought the game was fantastic. THQ Nordic's parent company, Embracer Group, shut down Pieces Interactive in June 2024 because of it, which is a fucking shame because the game has tons of heart. This is a sad end to a series that started a revolution. Stumbled a few times and keeps trying to get back up. 2024 reimagining for me was a high point, being a complete love letter to the 1992 classic with a killer atmosphere, big name actors, and a story that'll mess with your head. But combat and bugs hold it back. As I said, I think this is a must play for Lovecraft fans and nostalgia junkies. It's like walking into the manor itself. You're scared but you're curious, and you know you're in for a wild ride. Here's to Alone in the Dark. Keep haunting us, you janky, beautiful bastard. Almost forgot, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Your boy King Jiffy Coats wants to be rained on with tons of stripper money. As well, I just want to leave you off with one note. If you're shivering, scared, looking in your corners for ghosts because you watched this video or played Alone in the Dark, I want you to know to get in that closet, but don't you dare goon in the closet.